Let you know, man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. But God is really using you to help me out.
Reality and not potential. Now, let's look at it from the other side. What is reality? Reality is what the person is producing now. That's the reality part, right? Because I tell people this all the time, and really, it's real. Marriage is a gamble, right? Because you're marrying somebody that you're having good faith that this relationship will work. But if you look at statistics, whether you go to church or you don't go to church, sometimes it don't work. Sometimes it ends in divorce. So you're marrying potential and not reality, because the reality shares with you that this guy or this woman is lazy. This woman or guy don't like to work, right? And like I said, if you've been listening to us and you haven't been, if you just now tuning in, it's cool. Thank you. Go back to some of the old episodes and listen in intensively, because some people will put on a facade. It's easy for me to put on a front for the first 6 months of our relationship or the first year of our relationship. It's easy. Why? Because number one, we don't live together. So whenever I'm in your presence, and especially if you're the type of person that I really, really want, or dating you or marrying you would be a come up for me, it's easy for me to put on a performance. It's easy. It's easy. Now, as you get deeper into the relationship and you begin to spend more time with the person and you begin to ask qualifying questions, and watch this, I'm going to do a whole episode on this, and you ask qualifying questions and then you ask those qualifying questions again a month later to see if they will give you the same results or the same answer. And if they don't, you call them on it. Listen, it's only so long fake thugs can pretend or fake thugs can act. It's only so long that when you're in a relationship that they can put on, right? And this is one reason why that relationships or people in relationships can put on a facade for a year, because you don't ask them the hard questions. You don't ask the real questions. You ask the basic questions, the trash questions that really, it doesn't matter. I found out that in the long run, what's your favorite color? Like, that's cool. That's elementary cool, right? Like, I find out in spending time with you. Like, for example, I'll find out what's your favorite color on a humbug of us driving. Like, man, I love that blue Benz. That blue Benz hard. What you think about that? Oh, yeah, the blue Benz sweet, but my favorite color is brown. Bam, now I know your favorite color, right? So I think that so many of y'all ask elementary questions in the beginning, and this is why you get the results that you get, because you ask elementary questions, but you don't ask the hard questions, the real questions. Look at about my old episodes. I told y'all the real question to ask. I mean, I told you the credit, finances, right? Like, I need to pull up Credit Karma right now. I know it's not 100% accurate, but let me see the ballpark figure where your credit score is. I know you got it on your phone. Matter of fact, if you don't have it on your phone, pull it up. Let's do it together. Ask their hard questions. Why? Because this is your life that we're talking about. Ladies, stop wasting so much time on a brother that's not going nowhere, right? I'm not saying don't believe in his potential, but don't marry for potential, because potential may not come to fruition. And if it doesn't, will you be cool with it? He has the potential to be a CEO, but if he always remain, no shade to a janitor, no shade at all. But if he only remains a janitor, will you be okay with that? Would you be okay with what, $25,000 to $30,000 a year? I mean, I'm not saying that she a gold digger, but the truth of the matter is, and I want to erase this stigma around women that want guys that have money. The truth of the matter is, we all want to live a better life. I don't find anything wrong with a woman wanting a guy that makes six figures. I find no issue with that. I find no issue with a woman saying, I need a guy that can bring some real money to the table. Now, let's qualify this thing. You may want a guy that brings real money to the table, but lady, come here, come a little closer. You can't be bringing $10,000 to $20,000 to the table and say, I want a guy that brings six figures, or I want a guy that brings eight figures. No. It don't work like that. Like, okay, cool. You bring $50,000 to the table. I bring $200,000 to the table. But what else do you bring to the table outside of money and outside of looks and outside of sex? I'll wait. I'm listening. But that's what I want to know. right? Because I believe that it's a stigma around that a woman that wants a guy with money, however, she brings nothing to the table. That's not a good look at all. Period. I don't want you at my table if all you bring to the table is good looks and sex. You can find that anywhere. I promise you can. California, Virginia, DC has truckloads of them. Right? That's true. That's facts. Every major city has beautiful women. Every major city has handsome guys. Period. So ladies, it's crazy because you want this top-notch guy, but you're a lower tier woman. Let me say it again. Ladies, I have an issue with that. You want this top-tier financial guy, but you are a lower-tier woman. Look on the other side. Fellas, you want this high-tier woman, but you're a low bottom-feeding guy. Let's put it together. It's cool that you want better, but I need you to bring more to the table than just abs and waves or dreads. Let's keep it all the way real, right? I mean, that stuff cool for her, but that's no substance. So at the end of the day, fellas and women, do not marry potential. I need you to marry reality. Told me this, and some people were defending me. I shout out to everybody that was defending me. They were like, hey, man, he's just trying to put you onto some game because everybody don't know that. And this is the perfect day to discuss it. Why? Because a lot of y'all about to go on first dates. Let me break it down long form about this specific topic. Now, I just use that as a punchline for the video. So this 5 minutes of motivation. I got to motivate y'all for 5 minutes as you go into your first date. Because most people, statistically proven, says that either during the week or Friday, leading into the weekend, most people go on their first date. Usually it's around Wednesday, Friday. This is what statistics says. Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday. Most new couples or most new relationships go on their first date. Now, I just got to drop something in your lap real fast. Ladies, I'm talking to the ladies right now. You don't know how this guy's temperament may be. Right? So this guy may have some type of interest in you. He may have a lustful interest into you, right? And you guys go on a date. And he began to talk because most guys, when they take you to a nice restaurant, guys that's not decent, right? Not decent guys. They take you to a nice restaurant. I may go over today because I'm really adamant about this topic. They take you on a date, and the truth of the matter is, he may be a sleazeball, whatever you want to call him, right? Scumbag. And he began to conversate during dinner, and he leads to the sex thing. And he throws hints out there just to see if you would bite or to see his chances. In other words, I got to test the waters to see if I can get what I want. And you give vibes like, nah, I ain't that type of chick. I ain't finna do all that, right? So the relationship, or not the relationship, the date can go left, especially if you rode in two different cars. I've heard scenarios time and time again. That's why I did the video, so I can help y'all out. He may eat his food, then go to the bathroom and never show up. Now you're stuck with the bill. Not both of y'all bill, you stuck with your bill, right? And what's crazy is a lot of women go on dates with no money because they say, listen, he's going to pay for everything, which is true. The man on the first date, the man should pay for everything. I'm in total agreement. Even all dates, right? Most dates. I'm gonna say most dates because you have some great women out there like this. No, let me cater to you today. Let me do something for you today, right? It's cool in the game, but that's a totally different episode. But he may not, if he gets wind that he's not going to get some sex that night, he may operate left and do something. Listen, you find your own way home. Cool. I'm no hard feelings. I came tonight prepared, and that's all I was trying to share with women. Because there's a lot of women that put a lot of trust in men thinking that, nah, he won't do me like that. Listen, you have no clue. Some men are so dirty and so low down that if I don't get what I want, forget you, I move on to the next. And that's true. That's the true statement. I get it. Your grandmother, your mother, and everybody else older than you has told you before you go on a date, make sure you have some money, make sure that you can cover your entertainment, make sure that you can cover your dinner. Because now, this is another reason too. Some guys that take you out on the first date will go Dutch, like you pay for you and I pay for me. I've never ever hung with people, no guys that I hung with ever did that with women. Never, because I've never associated myself with broke mentality guys, right? I never kept in my circle broke mentality, even when we didn't have it like that. We didn't have the broke mentality, right? But I had to make this video and the previous video because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women that run into guys that they put a lot of trust and confidence in, but the night goes left. And now she's stuck with the bill. And many women, I just got to put this out there. Many women, the reason I made the video is because many women go on dates and they are not financially prepared to handle the worst, right? Many women go on dates just for the dinner or just for the entertainment or just for the company. What happens when you go on a date for just the company and it turns left, but you're not prepared to turn left with it? Like, you stuck. Like, he's going to be held accountable, right? But you're there, and I mean, you just never know. You just never know. You may say, given your sob story, I'm over my 5 minutes, but I got to share this with you. I got to. Like, it really bothers me how many people in the comments were like, I already knew this. Why would you? Because common sense is not so common these days. And I'm not saying that the women that don't know this or don't have the knowledge of this is dumb. By no means. You got to realize we're in a different generation. Right? We're in a generation now where you can go on an app and get everything that you want. So it's kind of taboo in a sense for a lot of women to go on dates. It's kind of taboo. Why? Because a guy can go on Plenty of Fish or I think it's an app called Bumblebee, or whatever. There's so many dating apps and there's so many sex apps that, okay, I want a relationship, so I'll go on this app, right? Or I just want sex, I'll go on this app. So we live in a generation where men get what they want because they're paid for it or because women are down with it, the same thing. But I want the women that are naive, and when I say naive, because you feel as if there's still good men out here, even the good man can bring out the worst. Listen, every good person has some evil in them, and every evil person has some good in them. I got to drop that in y'all spirit. I'm about to be out of here, but I just got to let y'all know that before I get out of here, that's why I did it. That's why I did the video, because I wanted my sisters to be abreast about, I want you to be warned. I want you to know, like, listen, before I go out, I'm going to be prepared. I'm done. I'm going to give you this. I want you to be prepared in 3 areas. I want you to be prepared financially to be able to cover your own self. Because, of course, if y'all go out to eat and then the dinner or the movies or the bowling alley is next and the dinner goes left, y'all not going to the bowling alley. So I need you to be prepared, 1, financially to cover yourself, 2, to make sure that you cover your travels back home. But 3, I need you to protect yourself just in case brother tries something crazy because he tried to get some sex from you. Like, nah, I ain't that type of woman. He try to force himself on you. I'm not trying to promote violence, but I need you to have a taser, a knife, or a gun, something on you to defend yourself. Because you don't have no gentlemen. The rate of having gentlemen, like real men in this world, I know we over the 5 minutes, but y'all rock with me right quick. The era of having genuine gentlemen in the world, real men in the world, it's slim now. It's slim. I remember in my era, right, I'm going to give you this quick story and we gone, right? I remember this time, me and my homeboy that I used to go to school with, and I'm going to send him the link so he can watch this video. So I'm pretty sure he remembers this. We went to the club in Virginia Beach, right? We were young. I was like 22, 23. So we went to this club in Virginia Beach and we got out and we had a good time. I mean, really good time, right? And we saw this girl in her car, drunk. This was before GPS. This was before social media was really big. Matter of fact, at this time, Facebook was only for college students, right? I had no clue what Facebook was. Social media wasn't out there like that, right? We had just started texting pretty decent. So we saw this girl, she was in the car and she was drunk. It was kind of chilly that night. So she had her car on, the heat blasting, I don't know if the doors were locked, but all the windows were up and she was slumped in her car. And I think I saw her and we looked, I'm like, man, we can't leave her like that. right? So we been knock on the door. She didn't answer, whatever. So then eventually she woke up and we realized that she was drunk. Because at first I think we thought she put it. Jamal Bryant said this, and I stick to it to the day that I die. Jamal Bryant said that anything that you're doing and you're calling it a business, but you're not making profit, it's a hobby. Because business is something that you make profit from. Preach, Jamal. So many of y'all saying that I got a little business, right? But it's not making no money. I mean, you nickel and diamond, right? You're nickel and diamond hustling. I mean, you're making a little change, but you ain't making no real money. And I have an issue with people. I ain't working for the man. I ain't working for the white man. I don't want to work for somebody that can tell me to go. But evidently what you're doing alone is not, it's not working out, right? Like it's not putting food on the table. If your income alone can sustain as an entrepreneur the whole household, cool in the game. We working. We may not be living high class, but we surviving. Cool. We can build from that. But many of you have great potentials. That's where I'm leading to now. Many of you have great potentials, but you're not fulfilling the potential that you have, and you're giving it half. You're giving it half your energy. Instead of giving it 120, you're giving it like 50%. Less than half. Let's really be honest, right? So it's cool because a lot of people have glorified being an entrepreneur. I know when I started I've been an entrepreneur, full-fledged entrepreneur for 5 years. And when I first started, it was glorious because I still had a little money saved up from my job. So it was cool. I wasn't feeling no sweat. I mean, I was good. Right? Until them bills start rolling in for real and savings begin to get depleted. I'm like, yo, I got to get on the grind. I remember because I had quit my job and I started a t-shirt company, which I still have, which does pretty decent. You know, we get a few orders. And that's not really my main focus. That's why. But I don't market it like I used to. But I remember my first month, my whole orders came up to like $2,000. And I think the profit was about $1,500 that month. Didn't cost me much because I had majority of materials, right? So I profited $1,500 from those orders. Then I did another order. I remember this. I never forget this. Then I did another order that month. The order was like $1,700. The whole order was $1,700, and my profit from that $1,700 was like I want to say $1,300 was profit. It was bananas. Right? Like my first month. $3,000 to $4,000 just from t-shirts. Let's go. I'm thinking it's gonna be like this every single month. But as an entrepreneur, you have to hustle. Period. Hustle. Right? And as an entrepreneur, you don't know. You know, when you're 9 to 5, you know what's coming in. Right? As long as you work your hours, you know, if you're salary, bam, you know exactly what's coming in. If you're hourly, you know that if I put in my hours and work some of my overtime, I know what's coming in. But as an entrepreneur, it's not like you don't know what's coming in. What comes in is what you kill. Many of y'all, fellas, I'm talking to y'all, many of y'all are broke entrepreneurs. Like you love the fact that you can wake up when you want to, go and come and play as you want to, but you're not breaking no money. But a lot of you, I'm transitioning to what I'm talking about, have a lot of potential. And the truth of the matter is, let's keep it funky. Women are attracted to potential. I'm going to keep it all the way honest. Ladies, you are attracted to potential. But my question comes to you is, suppose the potential that he has doesn't mature. Wow. Suppose this guy that you meet, that you're dating, everything's aligned, but he's not bringing in no money. He's not making no money. Like you got a little change. But what I've discovered, being on earth for 39 years, I've discovered I don't care who she is. Women don't enjoy. Some women would do it, but most women don't enjoy spending their own money when they're in relationship. I'm not saying that they won't, but they don't enjoy it. They rather spend your money, right? So a lot of women flock or are attracted to potential. But the damaging thing about potential is a two-way street. You have to recognize your own potential, but then you have to act on your own potential. And with that mix, that blend, the formula is I understand that I have potential. I recognize and I act upon my potential, but then you got to believe that your potential will be successful, will produce success. And what's damaging is most guys and most women see their potential, but a lot of people stop at this line. They don't act on their potential. Let me bust that all the way down, right? I'm gonna put on my bust down rollie on my next episode. But some women, some men know their potential. I have the potential to sing, not me personally, but I'm using this as an example. I have the potential to teach. I have the potential to act, but I know the potential, but I'm not acting on the potential that I have. So since I don't act on the potential, it never produces anything. And since it never produces anything, I do not believe in my potential. I recognize it, but I don't believe it. So when I don't believe something, I would never act on it. Y'all, listen, I need y'all to holler. That was a bar. So when I don't believe in something that I don't act on, watch this, I will allow it to stay dormant and never resurface or never surface up. So I ask every engaged couple this. What is something about the person that you're in a relationship with that you cannot stand, right? And they say it. Most people out of 10 customers or out of 10 couples, I would say 6 of them will answer it and say what they don't like. And what's damaging is, as it pertains to the topic that we're talking about on today, many women marry or gets attracted to potential. But the question becomes, this potential, if it never manifests, some people say, or if it never bears any fruit, would you be content in the relationship? And I believe that a lot of women overlook this part. They just say, hey, he got potential. I know, and I know y'all heard my first episode, If a Woman Understands the Power of Her Words, which was one of our largest episodes to today. But I get it. You think in your mind that if I speak life to him, the potential that he has inside of him will be birthed out and it will come out. Not necessarily. You can talk to me and encourage me and boost me up and blow my head up all you want. But until I act on it and I believe on it and I believe in it or my potential, it'll never happen. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. You can get me all the tools, but if I don't believe, I'm not putting 120% into this thing that you say that I have the potential to do. And that's what many women, that's where many women fail at. Because what they try to do is they try to marry men with potential. And this statistic shares with us that this relationship ends in divorce. I tell people this all the time, right? Never get with somebody that you're not, the Bible says this too, you're not equally yoked. Don't get with somebody that you're not equally yoked with. Right? Meaning, I don't share the same desires or motivations that you share. Right? So if you have a really goal-driven, oriented person that's always seeking to get results, and you're married to a person that's content with being broke, it's not going to work. I don't care how hard you push them. I don't care how much material things you put in front of them of what you gain, the relationship will not work. Because we're on 2 different courses in life.